It is Ask the Experts with Recycle Frog. You could be sitting on your own personal little gold mine, seriously. Send us your questions for Recycle Frog. Live phone calls on the air. We love those. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Ottawa.morning at ctv.ca. Also a great way to get a hold of us there by email and on Facebook, CTV Ottawa Morning Live. Just give us some questions. If you have some valuables around, David Martinek from Recycle Frog is here with me. Good morning. You brought some cool stuff here.
Yep.
And we're talking about, let's recap really quickly what Recycle Frog does for those who may not know.
Yeah, well, I think most people wouldn't necessarily associate what we do with what our name. We're a little bit kind of a cool little name.
Yes.
We really wanted to, what we do is we buy people's old unwanted gold and silver things, even platinum, but we don't see a ton of that. People still like the platinum stuff.
Right.
But we buy that and pay as much as we possibly can for it, and then we take that in turn and recycle it on their behalf. 100% of what we buy gets sent for recycling. And then we essentially get paid for that. It's a very simple business.
A lot of people have things that have been passed down that don't necessarily have a particular sentimental value, or even if it does, you just feel bad that it's sitting there and not doing anything for you anyway, and you don't have any plans to pass it along, and so you're sitting on money, actually, aren't you?
Oh yeah, for sure, and especially with what we've seen with the price of gold and silver in the past couple of years. It's really gone through the roof. So that little bit of material, like you said, the stuff that doesn't have any sentimental value is sitting there, and it's appreciated considerably. So it's a good time to be thinking about unloading that and turning it into cash. One
of the things that I'm very surprised at, I always thought that it would have to be anywhere above 14 karat, don't waste our time with anything lower than that. Not true at all.
Oh no, we've written checks for as little as 67 cents, and we've written ones for over $100,000, and it's surprising, when you look at just sort of simple examples of, you're absolutely right though, we see things as low as 8 karat, which is typically from Germany, and then we see some 9 karat, and we go all the way up to 24 karat, which is pure gold. But you're right, in Canada in particular, we see the majority is 10 and 14 karat gold because that's what we buy. But your simple necklace, would have been pretty popular back in the day, the little rope chain.
But not so much now. It's not that in style anymore.
That's right.
It's really just sitting there in one of those things that gets tangled up in your jewelry box.
Right.
You're wrestling with something you actually want to wear.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's nice to be able to think about getting that out of your home. One, it's a safe thing to do, really. If you don't already have it in a safety deposit box at the bank, and you're not using it, then don't just let it sit there and fall victim to potentially some criminal activity.
That's a great thought too. Something I didn't think of there. And then I see you also have brought silver, because a lot of people think of this as just gold. I think that's interesting. You even mentioned some platinum.
Yes.
You see less of it, but you do take it.
Yep.
So silver as well. There's a lot of really old silverware.
Sure.
That you may have been given as a wedding gift, but don't really want.
Right. Or you're just tired of cleaning it. You use it one time, and then all of a sudden you've had to clean it 2 or 3 times to get it back to that new look again. A lot of people that are coming to us have inherited pieces, so they already had their flatware set that they got at their wedding, but now their parents are passing on something that they don't use anymore.
And your parents give you the blessing. It's like, if you want it, if you don't, go ahead and get rid of it, then perfect. Right? Because you don't want to take up the space. And it's something that could actually help you in a different way. Maybe instead of that silverware package, you wanted to use that equity that's built in it to purchase something that you really need.
Sure. Or, in some cases when we're doing fundraising events, and we'll talk a little bit more about our CHIO fundraiser this week, there are things like you go to your church and we do fundraising for churches. You can actually get paid for it, or you can donate it, and the church will benefit from that as well.
Excellent stuff. So we'd love to take your phone calls on this. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Check us out on Facebook too. Ask your questions there, and email as well. What we are going to talk about coming up, we're going to talk about what the do's and don'ts are when it comes to recycling this material. And there are some pretty interesting things that you want to look out for. That plus, we're also going to talk about some of the most interesting things you've seen. But we'd love to talk to you first and foremost. And by the way, if people want to drop by and see you, here's where you are, right? World Exchange Plaza, Suite 1150. And you can telephone, call ahead is what?
You can come in, or you can call ahead and book an appointment. Either way works for us.
Okay, and we'll also, as you mentioned, talk about the charity angle. The CHIO barbecue is coming up, and you're going to do something pretty special with everybody who drops in over the next week.
Yep, over the full week. Yeah.
All right, so that's coming up.